Welcome back to the Be Ruthless Show. I'm your host, Sam Ruth, and joining me today is Felicia McNeely, an author and mother whose book, His Big Brave Smile, was inspired by her son's journey with a cleft lip. Through raw and compassionate storytelling, she brings awareness to craniofacial differences while honoring the strength of children and the emotional journey of the parents who love them fiercely. Thank you so much for being here and for everything you do. We haven't met in person. We're both here in this tundra up here in northern Michigan, but I have been following all of your writing. Please share a little bit more about you and your son.
Well, hi. Thank you
Hi.
for having me. I am a mother of 6 kids. I'm at home with them right now, actually. It's a snow day. The weather is horrible. um, and I've been writing since I was a little kid. I know my mom still has some books I wrote. I used to tie pieces of notebook paper together and write and draw little books, and I've just been love writing ever since.
I was saying before we started recording, we're going to talk about His Big Brave Smile, but you have many, many
Yes.
books, and they all are important stories. So writing is obviously more than a way to share with others for you. It seems to be a way that you get your feelings out.
Hmm. For sure. Yeah, and it's kind of become like an outlet for me, and definitely a way of healing as well.
Tell us about your son.
Right now, he is 2.5. He is a spitfire. Very adventurous, fearless, everything that I thought he would be. Just so brave and strong, and that's what this book is really about. Is kids with cleft, and showing them that even though they have differences, they can do and be anything. And Um, the book was such a hit with the cleft community, which we have a tight knit community, very, very helpful. And I decided to start at like an adventure series, starring my cleft son. And his first adventure series, it's halfway done, but he's gonna go up into space. And I just think it's very nice to see kids with disabilities, cleft, whatever, doing all of these different things, because they can do and be anything just like normal kids. And I want it to be more familiar to even other kids. I hope kids that don't have cleft lip and or disabilities will read these books too, and just become more familiar. um, it's really hard sometimes when you see people and children, which I know they don't understand, but kind of give a look to your son and or ask questions. I wasn't ready for that part.
I was meeting with someone yesterday who's 55 with a cleft lip, and I was telling him about this book, and he was saying, I needed this as a child. There aren't
Hmm.
resources, there aren't people other than your family members talking. There's other people pointing and making
Hmm.
it seem like a difference. And I like to make differences our strengths and our
Yes.
superpowers. So I love that you are making an adventure series and
Hmm.
turning this already into something positive. He's
Yep.
too young to have those conversations, but as he grows up, here are things that he's the star of.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm writing these. They were really for him, but and I decided to share 'em. The His Big Brave Smile is more about um it was just something that came to me after he was born, and it's more of like get cuddly on the couch, bedtime story, little sweet book just about how his smile is so beautiful. But the next series of books will be more about, being brave and just being able to do whatever you want to do.
A lot of people who know my story know that when I was 7 or 8, I was on a field trip. I went to a small private school, and we went somewhere where there were many other schools. And I was, who knows, 2 feet tall. I'm small. And my best friend was much, much taller. I just looked up to her. I idolized her, and some other kids came and started bullying and making fun of her. And she froze.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Oh, no, this is not gonna," charged my little self over and said, "No." Um,
Mm-hmm.
but here was this person who I thought was so powerful, who didn't know what to do in that moment. And just people who get targeted, who others look up to. I think it's so important. That was what changed my world. That is when I decided I need to speak up for anyone who doesn't have a voice in
For
my
sure.
little self. And I really do believe that's when I decided what I was going to do. So I think anyone who feels powerless or doesn't know what to do, whether it's an adult, a child, someone with a difference, someone with a disability, other people don't always speak up either. Sometimes other people stay silent. So
Mm-hmm.
teaching others also that, these conversations, these differences affect so many, and we have voices, and we can be big and brave for them, with them.
Yes, yes, definitely. Yes. It obviously he's not in school yet or anything. I dread the day he goes there. I'm not ready for it. As most parents, kids with differences probably are not. But there's been times when we've been, in public at the park, and I know that other kids don't understand, but there's been, kind of dirty looks and pointing, and I still don't know how to navigate that. It is very hard. At first you want to be kind of like but you can't do that to a kid. I just I wish that other parents would just talk about this stuff and be more open with their kids so they can know and learn and not judge others by differences. I-
Right? Like, asking questions. Kids don't
yeah,
know any better, but when that
right.
happens, parents can respond, teachers, adults can respond with conversation and
Yeah.
say, um, you know, what are you uncomfortable with? What are you looking at? How can we talk about things? Because kids respond like kids. We need to
Yeah.
be the ones to change that dynamic.
Right.
Do people ever approach you and say, "Can we ask questions?"
No, I have not had that. No. Mm.
I have anxiety. I've had it my whole life, and it's
Yeah.
invisible. But when I let people know, a lot of people don't understand it, and I say, "Please ask me questions."
Mhm.
Mine is different than someone else's, but if you don't know what it looks like, what it feels like, I'd rather talk about it and tell you how mine is than have you go home wondering or thinking you have to be a certain way with me.
Mhm.
Instead of talking about how I would be more comfortable in this situation. So could people come up and talk directly to you?
Oh, for sure. I would actually love that. I haven't had any adults come up to me. I have had kids, and they will say, "What's wrong with your son's lip?" And I just say, "Well, he was born with a cleft lip, and um, he had surgery, and now it's fixed." Um, and that's pretty much what I say.
Do they ever ask, does it hurt? Can you eat the same things?
No, I haven't had any of those questions actually. I think they just kind of, I don't even know if they know what cleft lip is, so they're just kind of like, "Mm, okay," and then they walk away.
That might be what they wonder. Those are things I've had people
Yeah.
ask. Can we share this? Can we, at lunch, can we say, can you eat this?
Mhm.
So those are conversations people need to be able to have instead of going home and being afraid to
Mhm.
offer. Or why aren't they sharing? Why are they sharing with 5 people and not 6?
Yeah, for sure.
How do
Definitely.
your the older kids act, and what questions do they ask?
They haven't really asked many questions. I a 3-year-old also right now, so he hasn't really asked any questions about brother's lip yet. But the older ones I do have, I mean, they saw the whole journey for themselves, so they know firsthand. They could probably answer people's questions for sure. um, the 3-year-old, I just don't think that he notices. That's been his brother and always has been, and I don't. He doesn't see any differences as of right now. So
That's the world I wanna live in.
for sure.
How many books total do you have?
um, 1, 2, 3. So this is after yesterday. That my fourth. 4. Yeah.
Yesterday, I saw an important post. You said you just finished. Did
Mhm.
you finish writing or did it actually, go get released?
I just finished the writing and it was just put in to be released. So that will be about a week.
Do you
Um
wanna share anything?
sure. It's an ongoing healing process, but it's a really emotional, raw book about emotional abuse, which I don't think it's talked about a lot. Obviously, everyone knows about physical abuse, but emotional abuse is just as damaging as physical.
A lot of people say to me, "I'd rather have a bruise. A bruise goes away."
Hmm. Emotional abuse can just damage you for, I mean, it could be a lifetime.
And these invisible things are difficult to I say, like, math is one of the only things that there's a right answer or that we can prove, right? Emotional abuse is something that people often take a really long time to believe is happening to them because it's
Hmm.
it's not concrete. It's not like math where you can say, "You know what? This is really, really simple and visible," and
Hmm.
right? It takes some time to understand.
I mean, yeah, it's been 3 years, and um, that's what this book is about going back and forth, because you really start to believe that you're the problem. That's kind of ingrained in your head, and to this day, just writing the book doesn't mean that I'm healed and everything is okay. I still have those moments where I go back and I question myself, like, could I have done this differently, or is what this person said true? Um, it it really does something mentally to you, and it's very, very hard to get out of.
Talk about healing, and put just writing it is one thing. Many people have
Mhm.
journals, but putting it out there in the world is a huge step. Congratulations. Putting any
Thank
book
you.
out there, but a book about abuse, um, I'm sure you're going through your own feelings with that. Um,
Mhm.
letting other people read our stuff is a big deal. So
For sure, because one chapter in the book I dedicated to, I did actually keep a journal through the whole 3 years, and some of the things that I wrote to myself were not nice, um, were very raw and emotional. I did include that chapter in my book, so whoever reads it gets to read my own journal entries. And then another chapter in the book, titled Things I Never Said, um, were different scenarios that happened throughout my relationship that I never talked about, never told anyone, never reported. So, yeah, very big step for me, for people to read and get that intimate.
And next week it will be available. It's called, and will it be available on Amazon?
Yes,
What's it called?
it is called Everything in Between.
What are the two we haven't mentioned?
Um, the first book I ever wrote was for my 3-year-old son. It's called Mama's Race Car, and it was just a cute little story because it's about our minivan. He calls our minivan a race car. It's hilarious, but it's just a cute, fun story that I came up with um, for him, and he loves to read it. He wants to read it every day. And then the other book is a motherhood book. It's called Held Together with Crumbs, because that's pretty much what I am right now. If I'm, being honest, and I hope other moms can be honest that most days you are. Um, and it's just about navigating motherhood. There's some funny scenarios in there that happen in real life with my children that are just really fun to read. I can read them over and over again and just laugh. um, but yeah, it's a really good book for moms to read.
How do you take this? I love that your son wants you to read it every day.
Hmm.
Um, for everyone out there that is writing but not sharing, how did you take the step from writing your whole life to deciding I'm putting this stuff out there?
Um, at first, I was just kind of writing the little books for my kids, and but then I was like, why not? Let's just see what happens. I mean, I would love to share them with everyone.
They're necessary. These stories, other
They
people
are.
need to hear them. Moms hang
Hmm.
on by a crumb. I mean, these are things that help other people feel less alone.
For sure. Yeah. And writing them honestly makes me kind of feel less alone too.
Do you have training in writing? Are you the most I I feel like there's other people out there very similar who might be
Mhm.
thinking, I can't put my book out there. I didn't go to school for this.
Yeah, no, I didn't go to school for this. I'm actually in the medical field. um, I don't think that you need to go to school for writing or any degrees or anything like that. And I think everyone, has a story to share.
I believe it's about having a story to share. And
Yeah.
a lot of times I think we get caught up in our own, like, this isn't important, or who cares about my story,
Yeah.
when every mom listening right now
Mhm.
needs that book, because
For sure.
they are going through today by a crumb thinking, oh my God, like, now I'm not alone. Right. But
Yeah.
we look at it like, it's who needs to read this?
Yes, and this book really dives into like um what moms think emotionally that normally you wouldn't speak about. You don't go and tell everybody else, like, hey, I'm feeling like I can't do this today. You don't go around telling everybody that. You keep it inside. And there's actually, I think, a chapter on that specific thing. Um, and it's really the emotions that we go through that we don't talk about because we feel like it's you know something to be ashamed of if we feel that way.
I stumbled across you because you were just sharing the book. You are not out there running around like I'm an author and I'm having book signings. How can
Yeah.
people find you if they are connecting right now? Where if they are a mom struggling and they just want to have a conversation?
Sure. I usually just share all of my books and things on Facebook, so I mean Messenger for sure. You can message me. I do have a children's author page. Um, that's pretty much it. I don't really do any other social media.
And the books are all on Amazon. You
Mhm.
said His Big Brave Smiles also on Books a Million.
Mhm. Yes.
How can people support and share these books and stories? What else can we do to support authors that people don't talk about?
I think just reading the books and giving reviews and honest opinions and sharing them with your friends and family. Yeah,
I always say, books are such great gifts. They never,
they
like,
are.
your son wants to read this every day.
Yeah.
You know, so many people read things online. I'm a hold a book in my hand person. I think kids are too. So
Mm-hmm.
children's books, especially. Um, if you are connected with schools or somewhere that enjoys books, um, the best gifts.
For sure, the best gifts. And my 3-year-old, he goes to Head Start, and they actually bought his book to read to the class, and he was very excited.
Yeah, does he get that he's like, I did this. This is about us.
Yeah. Yes. And so they'll every day he goes to leave, he's like, "You're getting in mama's race car."
What else? Anything else people should know?
Mm, I don't know. Um, just read the books. You'll love them. You really will. It's very hard marketing and promoting yourself, and your books. I'm doing it all myself, all of the editing, all of the covers, everything. It was a learning process for sure. That was probably the hardest part. Writing is the easiest part. Um, and marketing is probably one of the hardest parts as well. But if it reaches just a few people and changes their lives, especially the one on emotional abuse, and motherhood, and definitely the cleft lip story. I hope that reaches many, many cleft children. Um, then I've done my job. It doesn't have to become like a bestseller or anything. Just yeah.
Yeah, if you know anyone that has a place for the books, libraries, please
Hmm.
read, review, reach out. How many more are in the works?
Um, well, the adventure series book one is halfway done, and also um, another cleft book is in the works, but it's for parents of cleft. It's about the journey that we face. and the emotions that we go through. It's currently called Raising You. It's more like love letters to my son, but written for parents for sure. And it's going to be very emotional. Oh, hello, here he is.
Hi. Are we talking about you?
Say hello.
That's Denver.
But yeah, that is just started. So that will be a while. But
And to anyone writing,
mhm.
any words to the people who are writing to their kids, writing letters. I mean, these are the best ways, right? You're not sitting down and starting your novel, but these end up turning into amazing books.
For sure. Just keep writing. And even if you don't want to share it, and just write it for yourself, write it for your kids. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us on yet another snow day.
Yeah.
It's all week.
Yeah, for sure.
On social media, you are Felicia Bowers, right?
Yes.
Okay, so in all of the notes, I have a different name. Connect with Felicia on social media, Felicia Bowers. Get the books on Amazon or Books a Million. Leave reviews. Thank you so much for making time.
Yes, thank you.
And
Thank you for having me.
until next time, everyone, always be ruthless.
Thanks. Bye.